And for more on the alleged gunman, joining us now, Chief Investigative Correspondent Brian Ross. So we learn more all the time about this fellow.
Indeed, Charlie, and what's becoming clear is that he was suffering from some of the same stresses that he was trained to treat as an Army psychiatrist. Although Hasan had just been promoted to major in May, his family and a congressman briefed on the case say he had hired a lawyer to help him get out of the Army.
Apparently he became very disgruntled in the mission in Iraq and Afghanistan, voiced that to a lot of his colleagues.
In this internet posting earlier this year, Nadil Hasan compared suicide bombers to GIs who saved their colleagues by throwing themselves on a grenade. Hasan, an American citizen of Palestinian descent, went to college at Virginia Tech and studied medicine at the military's medical school.
I found him very quiet, and we have a nice quiet disposition about him. Very always willing to talk, and a humble guy. And I find him very interested in learning more about his religion.
Hasan worked as a psychiatrist at the Walter Reed Military Hospital in Washington for 6 years until this July.
Had a poor performance evaluation, was transferred to Fort Hood military base, and while there received a lot of advanced training in weapons shooting classes.
Overnight, federal agents carried out search warrants at Hasan's apartment outside Fort Hood. A neighbor told ABC News that earlier this week, Hasan had been giving away his furniture and copies of the Quran as he apparently planned to dispose of all his belongings. Now today, the investigation has broadened as the agents try to figure out where he got his guns. Apparently, they were guns he bought at a gun store, or someone bought for him at a gun store in Killeen, Charlie.
And how much do we know about his condition now?
He is in a coma, on a respirator, said to be paralyzed, not in good shape. Former FBI agent Brad Garrett, who has dealt with many serial killers and accused terrorists, says if he comes out of his coma, he'll wake up to be a very angry man. His intention was not to survive.
It is interesting that he could, in effect, through transference, be suffering from the same kind of traumatic stress disorder that people who have actually been in combat zones would feel. It's extraordinary that could be transferred to somebody who has not yet, he was due to go over, but had not yet been over.
Some liken it to secondhand smoke, a secondhand trauma. He dealt with people reportedly, including one patient who committed suicide. There have been a number of soldiers at Fort Hood who are part of a group called Under the Hood, who have refused orders to go to Afghanistan. And this may have been his way of making a statement in his own twisted logic. It may have been a way he thought he was doing something good.
Our Chief Investigative Correspondent, Brian Ross, thanks as always.